Okay, look. So I was gonna do a funny sketch for this, like, I don't know, just kind of portraying how everyone I knew asked me before going into this movie, like watching it. Everyone was like, "Oh my god, Emoji Movie, it must be so bad." And then I was just gonna like make a joke about this. But then I'm posting this review kind of late because I didn't have time to record it, and then I had time though to see all the reactions by other critics. And they're being really unfair, and I'm kind of mad. So let me explain my opinion of the Emoji Movie. Welcome back to Neverland, where I saw the Emoji Movie, and of course it wasn't the best film, but it was a regular bad animated film for kids. And before all of you just turn off this video now and say, "Oh, I knew it, another person who hates the film," please let me care to explain, because I do think it's being treated very unfairly. First of all, before going into the specifics of the film, like plot, characters, and so on, I want to address this very strong dislike that people seem to have for this property. I think the main reason, this is at least what people have told me, like my friends and just acquaintances, that people have for their dislike is the fact that this is obviously a very cash grabby corporate idea to make money off children. It is, that's true. But what people are not considering here is the fact that for studio executives, every single film is a cash grab. They want to grab your cash, they want to make money with mainstream movies, at least. That's the point. So, be it animated movies, be it superhero movies, be it, any Harry Potter movie, they're all cash grabs. Saying that the Emoji Movie is bad because of that, because of this corporate underlying idea of making money with children, I think is not fair, because this is behind every single film that is considered a blockbuster at the moment. The Emoji Movie is not perfect, not because of this. It's not perfect because of the filmmakers and their attitude towards the film, in my opinion. The thing is, when you're a filmmaker and you're handed this idea, and it's executives who want to make money, and they're like, "Please take this because emojis are really relevant for children right now, and it would be good to make a movie about it because they would be able to relate," which, by the way, I agree with, and the general idea of an Emoji Movie is not bad. So when a filmmaker gets this, it's about, what does the filmmaker do with this? What do the creative people think about this idea? And I think the main issue of this film is the fact that the filmmakers got this idea and they were like, "Ugh, that's trash." The way that every single critic and every person in the audience apparently is viewing it. People just feel when when creators care. They just do. And I feel like here, not a lot of people cared, and this is the main issue with the film. The main issue with the film is not the fact that this is a film about emojis, because that's not a bad thing. Just because it's about emojis doesn't make it bad. Even the fact that people want to make money off of this idea is not the main issue. The main issue is the fact that the filmmakers got handed this idea and they were like, "Ugh, that's horrible. I don't care about this. We're just gonna try and make something that kind of works as a film and see if it works." And of course that didn't work. Personally, all in all, I felt that the core of the film was actually quite good. I liked the general idea of this emoji having to fulfill its role and not fitting in. I liked the feminist girl character. I even liked the vain role of James Corden, and like the general struggle and the story idea. So the core of it wasn't bad. But the problem was, I think, that this was a film that was trying to have all of these ideas rather than telling a story. So it was like, "Oh, you know what would be good in a movie? This. And you know what else would be good right now with this, with all these trends going on? This. And this would also make a really good thing." But they weren't trying to tell a story, first and foremost, and this is always a problem. And I think it happens in a lot of films at the moment. And that way, the characters never became more than their ideas. The main character, he had this goal of being different, but he wasn't a character. He just wanted to be different. the feminist girl was nothing but a feminist girl. All she said was like, being a woman is very hard, and it is very hard. I agree. But as a feminist myself, I was like, this is not a very full representation of a female character. So there were more ideas or caricatures of what they could have been, but at the core, they weren't bad. I did really enjoy the world building. I liked the main world where all the emojis lived. I'm not sure now that I'm working in animation. I'm starting to notice all of these things, and I'm like, I don't think the shading of the objects was very good, or even the emojis, but like, I'm starting to get crazy about this, so whatever. But generally, you can do so much with a world inside a phone, and I think they realized that and tried it, but again, they had all of these ideas of making cool stuff, but they were not trying to incorporate it in the story. The emojis kept going into apps, but it didn't really make any sense why they would do that at this point. I was like, okay, so why did you go there now? I don't know, it just didn't feel natural. The final thing I want to say is I really, again, didn't like this condescending adult view of children and their culture in this film. I've complained about this in almost all of my last reviews, and even in my Comic-Con coverage, I think, where I'm just really annoyed with old men making films, writing films for children, and being like, ugh, children's culture today is so horrible. And the film literally starts with the meh emoji narrating his kid's world, which, by the way, that was very derivative of Inside Out, kind of. But I even liked that main child, like the child that owned the phone with the emojis. I even liked him. But so you go into the film and there's narration, and he kind of narrates. He's kind of like, oh, children today, they don't really do anything anymore. They're just on their phones. It's all they do. But in such a condescending way. And I'm like, first of all, no, it's not all they do. It definitely makes up a large part of what they do. But so what? This is just a new way of communicating. I've absolutely had it with old people making films for children and telling them how everything they do sucks. Then just don't make children's films. No one is forcing you. Let me do it. Please, please let me do it. So yes, the Emoji Movie wasn't the best film ever, but it also wasn't the worst film ever. It had good core elements, but at the end of the day, what made it kind of bad was not the idea of a movie about emojis. It was that the filmmakers just did not care about the property and about telling a good story, and that's just sad. Have you seen the Emoji Movie? If yes, let me know in the comments what you thought. No flame wars though, please. As always, you can like the video if you liked it, you can subscribe if you want to see more of me and children's entertainment, you can follow me on Twitter or on Tumblr for regular updates on my videos and children's media in general, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!